Hi guys, it's Sketch Heaven. I know I haven't posted in a really long time, but I finally wanted to do the video talking about my 2022 art recommendations, so that's what this is. I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you for watching. So, now that I have an extremely dangerous tripod setup that might get me killed, time for my first recommendation. So my first recommendation is sort of a tried and true of mine, which is, the Etcher sketchbook for watercolor. This is the GOAT of watercolor sketchbooks. It's awesome. It is expensive though. This is like I think it's a 5x8. All of these are, except this one's portrait. It's the one I'm working in right now. It's getting really juicy. I got a smaller one, and even this one is $30. So, I don't know if I would recommend this if you're not a watercolor artist. I splurge on my sketchbooks because I never really work outside of them, and I like to make nice stuff in them, like this and stuff. But yeah, if you're not like super into watercolor or you don't make finished work, I really wouldn't recommend going all out in this area. But yeah, I just have to recommend it because it's so good if this is your thing. Recommendation number 2 is this. This is the Paul Rubens watercolor palette. I've been using this for a long time, but it's not just Paul Rubens. There's actually very few of those still in there. It's mostly White Nights paints. I like how wide they are. I like how vibrant they are. They're really great. I would just look out for colors that granulate, because some of these paints do, and you don't really know that until you just watch them. I mixed the two together just to get the best of both worlds with each palette, and made this custom one that is probably going to last me into my 20s without having to buy new paint, which is great because I don't like spending too much money on art supplies. This is actually why I quit alcohol markers, at least collecting them. So yeah. The next palette I'm going to recommend is this, but not this. Oh my god, that sounds really confusing. This palette did not come with these paints. They came separately. These are Gonzai Tambi watercolors. I love these. They're really great for getting out of like my comfort zone. The palette is from really crappy paints I got from Hobby Lobby's brand. They came in like bulk when I first started watercolor painting. They were atrocious, and the second I upgraded to White Nights, I literally never looked back. I would sincerely recommend the Gonzai though, and I really like that I had this palette still laying around to put these in. I used masking tape to connect them on there, since obviously they wouldn't go in the way it was intended to. I just took the metal part out and made this, and it's awesome. Ignore the cringy stickers on everything that I own. I bought a lot of cringy stickers a couple years ago, and I still put them on everything because I just think they look really fun. On to brushes. This is my brush collection, and it's still got all the little plastic things in it. That's embarrassing. I should have taken this out. I didn't think about that. Anyway, so these are, at least most of these, are Chinese calligraphy brushes. They're amazing for watercolor. I literally do entire paintings with just one of these two most of the time, because they're really thin at the top and they get wider. They're also really flexible. Like, they don't have high snap once they're wet. Like, they don't click back into place really fast. They kind of hold the shape that the water makes them take, which sounds like a bad thing, but with watercolor it's actually pretty good. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum is my detail brushes. These are all synthetic. They're really high snap. And they don't hold water at all, so I can't use them when I paint, which is what I got them for. So I don't think I would recommend these if you're looking for something for watercolor. I would just get these. They're good for reaching fine details, even though they're kind of big. Since we were just talking about brushes, these are brush pens. I think they're Kuretake. but I'm not entirely sure, and I can't really tell what it says on the actual pen, but these are the best brush pens ever, and I'm going to explain why. They aren't felt tip at the top, they are like bristles, and that makes them really long lasting. They don't start crumbling like micron brush pens, or I remember I invested in the Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen, and it was really nice for like a couple of weeks. It outlasted my micron one, but it still eventually frayed and kind of just wasn't really worth the money, especially since it's Faber-Castell, so it was expensive. That was a few years ago. I'm probably never gonna buy one of those again. Really quickly, I do want to show a brush pen I wouldn't recommend for a specific reason. This is the Feud brush pen. I forget the brand, I just know that's what it's called on Amazon. I ordered this a while back because I was excited about it having bristles like the other one. It's super sharp, it looked awesome, and it is awesome. It's great for ink work, but you can't use water on this at all. It's extremely water soluble, so unless you're into that, I wouldn't recommend this if you're doing it for line art or something like I do. So yeah, just look out for stuff like that. Nobody in the comments said that, so I didn't know before I bought it. And kind of onto the miscellaneous section. My dog is making noise in the background. Thank you, Maggie. Posca pens. I would recommend these for sure. Kind of like pretty much every artist right now. They kind of went viral this year. I didn't really get into them because of that. I actually got interested in them when I saw Casey Golden using them. I really like her art, and I liked that they looked like they laid down really smooth, and yeah, they're beautiful. I love making art with these every once in a while. Actually, I'll show some. I make little stickers sometimes to put in my sketchbook with these, and they're just really fun. That's what this is, and somewhere back here. I painted this with those, and the halfway point in my sketchbook I did this. They are super fun, they do lay flat, and I would just highly recommend them. And then for paper recommendations, I would recommend if you're going for acrylic or gouache or Posca pens, this is Canson watercolor paper, I think. It's amazing for that. It's not as good for watercolor really. It's good for Gansai as well. Just anything that's kind of thicker and more opaque lays on top of this really well, but I wouldn't use it for something that you plan to have it soak in, like watercolor inks. One more pen recommendation, microns. These are the best. They're my favorite. I wouldn't really recommend them, I guess, for like alcohol markers, but if you're a watercolor artist, these are my tried and true. I've had the same ones for probably like 5 years now, since I was like younger. I don't want to say my age, but yeah, probably like 5 years. And none of them have ever gone dry in all that time. None of them, not even the ones I use like every time I paint or something like that. It's insane. So yeah, if you're into watercolor and you like line art, get some of these. They'll last you forever and they're not gonna break the bank or something. This is my absolute last recommendation from 2022. This is really, really random, but it comes in handy. This is a paper cutter. You slide it across and it cuts the paper. It does its job. This is one of those things where you don't understand how badly you needed it until you get it. And so yeah, it's glorious. Anyway, that's my last thing. Thank you for watching. I know I didn't really show my art a whole lot in this video, but if you want to look at some of my other videos and see my art, see if you might want to stick around and watch more of my stuff. Maybe follow my TikTok, which is sketch, I think, _heaven. That sounds so bad that I don't even remember that, but I think that's it. I post a lot on there. I have like 40 some videos. So yeah, if you want more regular content, follow me there. Unless the US bans it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye!